Hi, my name is Jessica Twombly. I read the article Family Literacy Night, a student-centered, clinically rich experience for teacher candidates in literacy in TESOL. I picked this article because in some of my other classes, I had read some articles about doing family enrichment within the ESL programs in schools and trying to get family involvement. So when I read Family Literacy Night, that's what drew me to this article. This article is about actually involving colleges and becoming partnerships with schools and the community to provide their student teachers with more enriched activities to help better them and prepare them for working with their students in the community. So I pulled a quote out of the article that I think really kind of summed up what I believe were kind of the main points. The quote was, "To create meaningful field experiences, universities and schools and university community collaborations have been noted as beneficial." I thought that was really important. And it goes on, it says teacher candidates or literacy educators have outlined the need for teacher candidates to be immersed in field experiences that foster collaboration and engagement with other professionals as well as students, families, and the community. I think this is really, really important. The article goes on to talk about the need for community enrichment and enrichment within teachers, and that partnerships from the college level to public school or private schools on through to communities have great benefits, or can have great benefits if they're done properly to help everybody involved. So some of the benefits of doing a collaboration from college to the schools and onto the community is that the colleges can actually better their college education programs for future candidates by seeing what the needs of the schools are and how to change their programs to fit and better prepare teachers to go into those environments. And then also, it allows the colleges into the schools to do research, which also can help better education and knowledge about education in different groups within the schools so that they can be studied. And it also can enrich services that we provide for our students. We're bettering their teachers' education, which helps them, but also, having mentors and people that can come out into the community and offer extra support that are at the college level, that are actually the ones training. Now they can come out and work with children and families to help enrich, so they can provide things like literacy camps, different fun activities like after school programs, summer programs, things like that. And then mentoring not only to the students but to those teachers, and having more people that can help mentor new teachers by having that college connected. And then ultimately, what this does for student teachers is they're saying, we go into these schools and we work, Monday through Friday, school hours. We see our collaborating teachers, maybe we see our teams, we see office staff, but adding in a planning to do one of these community events adds in a lot more collaboration experience for teachers. It helps to build. So, within the schools, we're doing like PLCs and different groupings to try to support each other, but this kind of brings that out of the school and into the community some more, and gives student teachers the opportunity to interact with families, the community, which is something that maybe they haven't had the chance to do. And something that definitely takes some practice and some skills in developing, the comfortability of being able to do those kind of programs. So family literacy itself. So the activity they decided to do in this article was a family literacy night. You could do a lot of different programs. Like I said, they mentioned like a summer school program or like a mentoring program. This article was specifically looking at doing a family literacy night, and some of the things that needed to be taken into account to have it to be successful and to truly be able to collaborate and enrich not only that teacher's experience, but the students and everybody that was involved. You need to have strong collaboration between teacher candidates, the staff at the school, whether it's the teachers, all the way to like janitorial, who's going to clean it up, who's, doing this, who's doing that. And then collaboration with the communities, seeing if there's things that can be brought in from the community to help facilitate being able to do this kind of extracurricular activity with students. But when we do these kind of activities, we want to make sure they're going to be meaningful to children and families. So our children come and, they're immersed in English, typically speaking. And so, the students might be comfortable to come in to an activity like that and kind of be able to navigate because they do that during the day at school. But families might not be so apt to be comfortable in a situation. So some of the things that they brought up, with being meaningful and accessible to families and children, communication that goes out about these programs need to be multilingual, and targeted towards the families, communication preferences, whether they want it to come home in Spanish, Chinese, any of the languages that are in your school. You want to make sure that that we're using those different languages to try to communicate with families so that they know exactly what's going on. And so they have the information and be able to decide whether that's something that they want to do with their children. And they might be more apt to come if they fully understand what the purpose of the night is. And then once you get to the event, making sure that there are activities that are accessible to multilingual families, making sure that there's different languages represented, maybe translators. One thing they mentioned was, even if you're doing literacy, the text that you decide to use, is that text culturally appropriate? We might have a fairy tale or something that we believe in, but in another culture, it might be something that is not highly sought, to interact and stuff. So we want to make sure that, we're finding something that can cross cultural barriers and stuff, something that can or has been translated into multiple different languages so that those families feel comfortable coming in and participating with their children. And when we're doing that, that allows parents to come in and kind of know that, hey, we're here and we're willing to, include you. And so hopefully as more of those experiences come, those families get more and more involved with their students and feel comfortable coming in and doing those things because they know that we're trying to make it, for everybody, not just the English speakers. Or if you have a high level or high amount of like Spanish speakers, some schools will do stuff in just English or Spanish. Well, there might be other languages also. So you want to make sure that you cover as many of those language categories as you can, so that everybody feels like this is a program for them. And then also when you're planning and collaborating and doing these programs, make sure, to take the interests of the families. If families are, struggling to even have books in their house, you might start with something that, appeals to the families, so making sure that, it's something that families want to do so that you have a good turnout, because you don't want to do all this collaborating and stuff and then have nobody show up because it's nothing that they would be interested in. There were some challenges that they stated in doing something like this. One, it takes a lot of time and planning. Student teachers, since that's who they want to get out there and do the collaborating, typically have very short time spans that they're in schools. We student teach for, a semester, sometimes in multiple different places, and if you're doing like an ESL or something, you might even be there for even less time. And so time management can be a huge challenge. And then also in the article, they were talking about going from the college level down into the school levels where, in a district, you might have multiple student teachers from one college. So actually bringing them together and maybe connecting schools together through this program and having like a centralized place that you're doing. Maybe you're doing it at a library, maybe you're doing it at a school, but you have multiple student teachers working together. So making sure all that collaboration, just making sure all those, wheels are all turning at the same time. That can be very difficult. And then balancing the expectation of something like a literacy night, what does the college expect? What do they want to see happen? And then what is the school? What does, administration expect to see? And then what does the teacher, the student teacher, what are they expecting to see? And having very open conversations and collaborating to make sure that expectations can be met and are being met can be a challenge because there's so many working parts to getting something that's community-based up, for an evening, making sure. So it did say that with a lot of organization and collaboration through all the different people and within the schools and the community, this is a very good program and a good thing for teachers to do so that they can enrich their experiences at the in their teaching. So overall, this article I thought was interesting. I love the idea of doing like family community kind of events. I hope that I get the chance to do them. Maybe not necessarily in my student teaching year or time, but I definitely think that it's very important during your student teaching that you're doing as many collaborating and as much meeting and greeting and working with families of your students, especially if you're doing a specialized kind of thing, like ESL, or if you're trying to, get out that, you're a reading teacher, you can do these different things. Really getting out there and meeting people, working with your families so they know who you are, they know how you can help them, and then, have them support you, you support them. So I think that these kind of events are have the potential to be very good. I would love to do something like a family night for my students in the future. And I think that if a college and a school could really collaborate and come together and become really strong partners, I think that the college could offer a lot of support through offering up help to do these programs, offering up materials, offering up a great wealth of knowledge that they can pass on how to work with families and, just them studying different schools and, kind of what works, what doesn't work. it could be really beneficial for any teacher to be involved, not just student teachers. But I definitely think the sooner that you get yourself in to working with people, the better off you'll be. And hopefully that does start within your student teaching time. But I am definitely all for, doing all the programs and those extra things like conferences, family nights, music recitals, anything that might happen after school. I think it's a great thing for student teachers to get in because it is going to enrich your learning experience, and I think help make you more comfortable when you get licensed as a teacher and it's something that you need to do and feel very confident in. So thanks, guys. Have a great night.